eating for real. Yep. All right. Sincerity and shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect out there, who are of the elect, Yahweh Ratazah, I believe that number. You know, you got these, fuck, dude. There's some of those Hebrew sailors, and hold on, let me get that, because they were sent to where? To where? Shit. Slacking. For the king. Every 3 years once came the ships of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory, and apes. The word, I think his name is Shamashawan, lowliness of 777, lowliness of mind. You know, he's an Israelite historian. You know, he actually broke down how that word there goes into turkeys. Trees and precious stones, and the king made of the algum trees terraces to the house of king's palaces, and harps and songs in the land of Judah. And hey, you know, back on that article. Hold on, I'm gonna be interrupted. What is she interrupting me for? Why are you interrupting me? I told. Let me look up this. Before, but this Edomite by the name of Gene Savoy, he and the script. Yeah, I yeah, we have this right here, the theologian Benito Arias Montano proposed finding Ophir descendants, thus descendants of Ophir and Shem. Australian asserts, I can't even get it. Search tribe that speaks language. But basically, let me connect that with Second Ezra, chapter 13. You know, they would have known the route to get there. The article that brother found, you know, it's even more evidence. Let me get Second Ezra 13 verse 40. These are the 10 tribes of their own land. Who is the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them to another land. That's verse 40. Verse tells that they will leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Verse 42, that they might there keep their statutes which they never kept in their own land. Verse 43, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. Verse 44, for the Most High that showed signs for passed over. Land never man, right? Verse 46, third, so it shall begin to come. That's 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 where they were taken to. know, that's where they went. Actually, that's where they went to get away from the multitude of the heathen, so they wouldn't go off no more. That's where they went. But yeah, more proof that you so-called Latinos and Native Americans are the Northern Kingdom of Israel. And more proof for you BOIs, man. More proof for y'all. Latinos. Be rewritten in some of the Hebrew sellers is approximately 900. You see that it's talking about King David's son. Yeah, I just went over that. Alright, will history be rewritten to include this fascinating new evidence? This is from Azan Amak Bai's article. Were the people who describe those ancient stones part of the scattered tribes of Israel as recorded Israelites? That's the truth about it. Is that why several Native American tribes from the southeastern Caribbean islands share much of Israel's spirituality found in the Torah? Of 20 of 800 made its way halfway across the world, solving a 3,500-year-old mystery. What did these stones whisper about the pre-Columbian indigenous people of the island of Puerto Rico? After rigorous academic testing, anthropologists, historians, academics, and millions of Puerto Ricans finally have scientific evidence that reveals the language of the stones. Rico's name, that go back into that. I believe, like even altered versions still Hebrew. A remnant of ancient. Okay, yeah. He was amazed at what he saw. After comparing the writing on these stones to others from around the world, he came to this conclusion. This writing was a form of ancient this island. Yeah. You know, more evidence, and we were heathens. You know, they're hey, Hosea 1. Hosea was written to the Northern Kingdom. Hosea 1 verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the not, and it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power. Then there, that same place where it was said, Ye are not my people, the same place, there shall be said to them, Ye are the sons of the living power. Ye are the sons of the living power. You know, you're Yasharala. You're the princes of the power. You know, which is how you say Israel in the ancient Hebrew. You're the sons of the living power. Yasharala. And yeah, you know, for centuries, you know, verse 9 been going on. Then said power, Yahweh, call his name Lo Ami, for you're not my people, and I will not be your power. But there's going on now. You know, it's being said, in the same place where it was said unto them, You're not my people, where our heritage was taken from us, man. There shall be said, it shall be said unto them, you're the sons of the living power. And the northern kingdom, Latinos and Native Americans, our enemies being found liars unto us, man. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee. There be to be his land for the precious things of heaven, for the doom, for the deep, for precious fruits brought precious 15, and for the things of the ancient mountains, precious things, lasting hills of the ancient mountains. Interesting. And the Hebrew were called what? They were the people of the mountain, right? And you think of where this was found too. And for the precious things of the lasting hills, and for the precious things of the earth, verse 16, that was verse 15. The one before was verse 14, the one before was verse 13. Now this is verse 16. And for the precious things of the earth, and the fullness thereof, and for the good will of him that dwelleth in the bush, let the blessing come upon the head of Joseph, Yahweh, and upon the top of the head that was separated, of him that was separated from his brethren. Verse 17, his glory is like the firstborn of thy bullocks, and his horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them he shall push people together to the ends of the earth. Ends of the earth. Example, North, Central, and South America. And there are 10,000 of Manasseh. And you get the point. Let me true shall bring forth. Microphone. Come on, don't play with me. True shall. Sometimes it's spelled like this. Truth shall spring forth out of the earth. And let me get Psalms 85 verse 11. And the truth which has been so long without fruit. 2 Ezra 6 verse 28. As for faith, it shall flourish. She overcome shall be for evil shall be put. And caused her to be carried away of the flood. 15. And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed which the dragon cast out of his mouth. There you go. That's just springing forth out of the earth. That's how we made known. We get revelation. Revelation 11 verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of Yahweh entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And they soon, saying aloud. And it reminds me of the scene of the domes in the kingdom of the Christmas skull. Last skull was connected, right? And then they and the dead bones, which is the whole house of Israel, and dead bones. Chapter 33. How they came up. And then they went up in the chariot. The scene, the prophecy that came to my mind, because down music caused me to pass in the open valley, very dry. Verse said unto me, Son of man, live. And I answered, Oh, you have power. And he said unto me, Prophesy upon these bones, and said unto them, O bones, hear the word of Yahweh. Verse 5, Thus saith the Lord power, I will cause breath to enter, and ye shall live. Verse 6, And I will flesh skin, and ye shall know that I am. Prophesied as I was commanded, and as I prophesied, there was a note of shaking, and the bones came together, bone to his bone. Verse 8, And when I beheld, the flesh came upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no. Prophesy unto the wind, prophesy unto man, and the Lord power, come from the four winds, O upon these slain, that they may live. Verse 10, so I prophesied as you commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived, and stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Verse 11, which the this is verse 10, that's why. And also put some understanding in what happened to Adam. The breath of life, right? What is the reason of that? It was symbolic. Then he said unto me, man, these bound Israel die, cut off for our parts. Verse 12, therefore prophesy and say and bring you into the land of Israel. Verse 13, I am powerful. I am the Lord. Yeah. And when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves. Verse 14, and I will put my spirit on you. Has spoken, saith Yahweh. Going on. That is exactly third, the elect on this side. Them are coming alive just like them 12 skeletons, man. I believe it was 12. Because they show you the they know what's going on. Jones and the crystal skull. Just to make sure. Power shot. Scroll rocket tour. Being, man. In my world, also they know that you gods and all your children die. Verse 7, what's been going on with us, but you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes, and 2/3 are going to die like men. But yeah, just out of our graves, man, to bring us into the land of Israel, to bring the Yasharala. Jerusalem, right? And how is that happening? Our enemies are being found liars unto us. That's how it's happening. We're I think it was the Valley of Hinnom, if I'm not mistaken. That was the valley that was being represented. But was 11 and 40 Hubble unto him 1,000 men who have not bowed the knee to all. Also remnant according to the election of grace. Verse 6, and if like otherwise it's because the law all the way. That's hey. But if it be a works and there's no more grace, otherwise work is no more work. But we try our best. You still try your best. Verse 7, what then Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, which a grace period, that's just a time period for you to get right. That's what it is. And Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and blinded. The rest are dead, right? Cut off from all sides. According as it is written, power Yahweh hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they did not see, and ears that they should. 2/3 ain't gonna get just because they heard this news, man. 2/3 don't want this, man. Latino native, whatever firewood nations, man. 2/3 of these chickens ain't gonna get right. Just because they hear about this, they ain't gonna. Let their eyes bow down their back always. So with that, I hope this live was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles. These are great citations to the argument out there, spread this truth like wildfire. I got another verse I'm our great earth city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men a complete united and gave heaven, But the remnant was the remnant is speaking of the 1/3. Verse 14, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The third woe. Luke 4:3, man. Let me get guide just as a precept to that. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, Yahweh 2 parts therein shall be high, but the third shall be left therein. Verse 9, and I'll bring the third part through the fire, and I'll bring the third part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, as gold is tried. I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my power. I'm gonna wrap it up right there. Hope this live was, stay shalom, stay Hey, I want to give all shot. Double honors to the salutations to the argument out there, spread this truth like wildfire and all sincerity number. Is coming. A new age is coming. A new age of Yasharallah. Yasharallah gonna reign forever. Daniel say the set apart, right? Gonna reign forever. Daniel 2, verse 44. The days partially strong and partly broken. It was right. The kingdom shall be subdued with all that breaketh all these shall break in pieces and bruises. Verse 41, and whereas thou hast the feet and power of iron, that kingdom shall be, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. This is we are in the feet, the toes, which is empire. Verse 42, and the feet were part of iron, the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken. Demo that's how it's partially broken. I pretend to be for the people. Verse, whereas mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves, and they gotta convince them shit. Deception. Verse 43, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, men, but shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. Verse power of heaven, Yahweh set up a kingdom which shall not be destroyed, and his kingdom will not be left to operate and consume all these kingdoms. Without hands, brass, so like silver has made known to the king, and the dream is certain and entered. That this image's head was of gold. Daniel 30. And his thighs of brass, his legs of part of iron and part of clay. Verse 34, thou sawest that a stone was from smoke, the image of where? On his feet, that were and break them to pieces. The clay, the brass and silver and the gold broke the chaff of the summer wind carried the smoke. The smoke became a great mountain and filled the whole earth. The stone is Yahweh's side, man. He's king. That the stones for his report beast. And 10 7-headed over again, the son David, Yahweh, coming back to destroy. And using using the beast to destroy the whore, using Esau and the other nations to destroy Esau, and also in the midst of that, come back and finishing these devils and these heathens off, man. After that, no Edomites and heathens. No other nation is going to go after. Seven. Of it that followeth. Verse 8, then he said unto me, from Abraham unto when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand time for Esau of the world. Verse 10, the hand of man quakes the heel on the hand. Other questions. But right now we're in between those 2 ages. But the end, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. And the hand, that symbolizes the hand of Jacob taking down Esau. Right now, Esau is on top. Other question, Ezra asked thou not. And Esau was making plays even then. You have to remember when Ezra that was to the prophet, to the scribe, Ezra. That was during the Medes and Persians rule when he was around, man. And Esau was making plays even then. Esau tried to take over the Medes and Persian empire. Esau tried to take him down through divide and conquer, but it wasn't the time yet. But Esau was, as you can see, Esau was already in the land of the Macedonians and shit, already making their play. And they were escaped from being in captivity under Jacob, man. Since the days of the kings of Judah, man, they broke free. If it was Amaziah, the king of Judah. I'm on my Malcolm tip right now, man. Trying to get it, bro. You know, okay. Israel, northern, and you had Yahweh king, kings. You're John, the son of Abraham, son of Ahab, Slaki. Yahweh, the son, yeah. Okay, under Jehoram, the son of Yahweh Shaphat, king of Judah, began to reign. So it's probably something else in the, something else in the Hebrew. Not probably, something else. Ain't no J's, E's, or O's. But let me continue. 32 years old was he when he reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. Verse 16 did the house of Ahab, for the daughter of Ahab was his wife, and he did evil in the sight of Yahweh. Verse 9, yet Yahweh would not destroy Judah for David his servant's sake, as he promised to give him always a light until his soot is shortened. Verse 20, in his days Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah and made a king over themselves. Verse 21, so Joab went over to Zerah, all the chariots with him, and he rose by night and smote the Edomites, which compassed him about, and all the captains of his chariots, and the people fled to their tents. Verse 22, yet Edom revolted from under the hand of Judah till under this day, then Libnah revolted at the same time. Man. So since then to 2nd Ezra 6 verse 9, I was making it took from things like, with the Assyrian kings of Babylon take down and then you had by burning Jerusalem and hunting those that escaped, trying to get position, trying to the king of Babylon. And then when that didn't work, they mites that like Haman, he was a Amalekite to be exact, who who basically like tried to infiltrate the empire, but it wasn't Esau's time yet, and tried to genocide, you know, Judah, man. And it didn't work. You had Alexander was their time. Medo-Persian Empire, the best. Also, hey, no, they were the died. Head was a fine gold. The arms of silver was the, and his belly and thighs of Greek-speaking Edomites took over. So you could tell additions to Esther. It's for anyone that like additions to Macedonia, North Macedonia, the son of Amadatha, verse great cunning deceit. So Esther, partaker of our kingdom. Verse 14. To this out here. Esau, how Esau, the guy was the great unto the princes 120 princes unto Ethiopia and all subjects greeting. Verse 2, many often they are honored with the great bounty of their gracious, the more proud they are waxed. Verse 3, and endeavor to hurt not but not being able to bear abundance, do take in hand to practice also against those that do good among men, but also lifted with the glorious words of lewd persons that were never good. They think to escape the justice of power, how that seeth all things and hateth evil. Verse 5, oftentimes also fair speech of those that are put in trust to manage their friends' affairs hath caused many that are in authority to be partakers of innocent blood, and hath enwrapped them in remedy less calamities. Verse 6, beguiling with the falsehood and deceit of the lewd disposition, the innocency and goodness of princes. Verse 7, that ye may see this as we have declared, not so much by ancient histories as ye may, if ye search what hath been wickedly done of late through the pestilent behavior of their authority. Take care of the time that for men. Verse 9, for by changing our evidence and always judging things that are evident with more equal pursuit. Thus the point. Then further 1 Maccabees 1 verse, I'm gonna wrap it up soon. Verse 44. For the king has hold on. And after his, they all put a crown upon them, and multiplied in the earth, and their